Hey everybody, this is Mad Matt Carter. Thank you so much for watching the AIWF Network YouTube channel as well as the AIWF Ringside Wrestling channel. If you like what you see, please do us a big favor. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications every time we post new videos on both our channels. It means a lot to us, and thanks a lot for watching once again.
Welcome everybody to Pro Wrestling Wire Radio. This is Rick Del Santo, and I have a very special guest returning to the program, and I believe this is 5th appearance here on the show. He's getting up there in numbers of appearances. This is Ryan Fraust. How's it going, my friend?
Good, thanks. Good. Not quite as great a number as my birthdays, but we'll work on it.
We're all getting a little older, and well, you're doing a lot more than I am bumping in the ring. So at that age, I'm not sure how you could quite do that. But
I don't either. I know if I started when I was 19, I would be a lot more beat up than starting at 36. That's for sure.
I know the first appearance that you made on the show, which was I think 2-3 years ago. What age was that you started? I remember
I was 36 when I debuted.
Wow. That is older. That is older.
Now, I had started training a little bit here and there, at a PWA, closer to 30, 31, 32.
Right.
But I think I have a little terrorist who's going to try to... Oh, Charlie. Sorry.
Is that the dog getting involved?
Cat.
Okay, yeah. Pets have no they have no understanding of busy time.
He just wants to be on TV. It's okay.
It's all right. So you spoke about 36 years old. Last night I was watching Mario Mancini went live on TikTok last night, and he had a person in the chat that was 39 years old that wanted to get involved in wrestling. And that's, that is a little bit older, and that's I mean, I say if you dream of it, then you should go for it. You know what I mean?
Well,
even at that age.
So I had already, gone to WestCon, got my acting degree. I had already been singing for bands for, over 10 years at that point, and done some really cool stuff with acting and with singing. But I said, you know what? I'm never going to be able to do, it's getting to a point where it's going to be too late. So if I don't do it now, I'm never going to get to, and I'm going to always regret it. And just like some of the things that I've been able to do have been like, I know I haven't, been on TV or anything yet, but like some of the things that I've been able to do have been so unreal to me. And like high school me is freaking out about the shit that I can do now, let alone what I might yet achieve. Like there's still time to do a lot of things that would be really cool. So yeah. I would tell that 39-year-old, do it, man. Even if you only get one match, even if you only learn how to do it and never even get in front of a crowd, at least like if it's something that you wanted to do, just do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's also, you make great friendships in professional wrestling. I have been just through doing this podcast and doing broadcasting. And it's, you have developed a very big loyal following in professional wrestling. There's guys that'll go to shows. I follow it online just because you're going to be there. Like Joey G is a huge fan of Ryan Fraust.
Yeah, the boys are the Frost Force are a very special group that I can't. It's hard for me to even take credit because I don't know. I didn't do anything deliberate. You know what I mean? It's just
you're just you.
I'll take it. Cool.
There's nothing wrong with that. You've got a lot of stuff coming up, and we're just going to talk a little bit about that coming up today, and then go a little bit over what happened in the last couple months. Obviously, you were the Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling United States champion. You won it from Troy Stevens and recently lost it to Mooch over there at the Armada Brewing. And this past was this past weekend, 2 weekends ago, you actually had a rematch for him, and you injured your thumb, broke your thumb, and he went deliberately after that thumb, try to beat you, and I'm trying to remember, and then you ended up coming up a little bit short during that match.
Well, the reason it took so long to get my rematch was because of the thumb. I missed about 6 weeks worth of matches. I completely missed wrestling Flash Waller and Red Sawyer in a triple threat at Test of Strength, which was truly heartbreaking. Because what a clash of styles, how interesting that would have been. A match against Steve Stetson at PvP turned into an arm wrestling match, which I thought, it was cool. And obviously that guy's not going to beat me in an arm wrestling match. But then the match with Mooch was only one of my first matches back. And, the injury persists. Like it's a 6 to 8 week with the splint, and then I wasn't exactly cleared to compete to begin with. But I just, as soon as I could get that rematch, I needed to get it because I know Mooch can't beat me clean. He can't beat me without some kind of outside interference or without Daisy. Sorry. Am I still on?
Yep.
That was the other one. there's two young cats who are rambunctious. I love you. I'm sorry, baby. So as soon as I could get that rematch, I had to, because I know I can get that championship back. In this instance, he did exploit the injury, and maybe I came in a little too soon. Maybe it wasn't quite ready to go. And he still didn't pin me. He still didn't make me submit. The ref stopped the match because he saw that Mooch was going after it, and it was in my best interest. So I didn't hit the kid with the Alabama Slam, with the Brass City Slam. I was pretty mad. I certainly felt like I could have, but at the end of the day, he had the best intentions. He's new. He's still learning. So as frustrating as it was, I know I'll get at least one more shot because Mooch still hasn't actually beat me.
Yep. I feel like this is not over. Like I feel like you're going to come back. Definitely not. So you're definitely returning to Paradise Alley at some point soon, and you're gonna try to take that title back.
They don't have to book the match. I'll be there.
Yeah. Wow.
and then Mooch is gonna know I'm there. And I don't mean to be disruptive or disrespect, the event or the authority at the APW. How can you? A couple of WWE guys.
Right.
But no, that's not sitting right with me, and I'm going to get my return match one way or another.
All right. Well, I look forward to that, and I like Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. They got a show coming up on the 28th. I don't think that the matches have been announced for that quite yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing that lineup. And I don't know if if you're working that date or not yet, as of yet. So we'll see what happens, I guess, down the road. Yeah. Let's see. Now there's a couple different companies that have started up in this in our local area, the wonderful state of Connecticut. I use that wonderful state of Connecticut very loosely, but we've got some good companies that have started up recently. Alex Rojas has started up. His legacy is timeless. Doc Warren is starting his Pure Vanguard organization, and there's a lot of promise there. You've got a match coming up with Bull Dread in was that October? October 12th, correct? Yep.
The cool thing about Vanguard, Doc is a wonderful person.
Absolutely.
He's got nothing but the best intentions also. Great human being. And actually, at the Pure Vanguard debut event, I was in a match with Randy Shawn, formerly Jay Busta, and we determined the first ever Break the Chains champion, which is a really cool concept because it's not like the promotions championship. It represents all of Doc Warren's efforts in helping folks with, struggling with mental health issues, struggling with addiction issues, because he's got his Pill Willow Therapeutic Farm in Woolkit, Connecticut, and that's his business.
Right.
And I did win that match. So I am currently the reigning and defending Break the Chains champion for Pure Vanguard Wrestling. and it meant a whole ton to me because I do, I'm diagnosed with depression. I have had my issues in the past with, not, thankfully, God willing, not anything too scary, but I've definitely had issues with maybe drinking more than I should. And I think that's pretty much common knowledge. I'm not, ashamed of it.
Right.
It's just something that's been.
It happens. Yes.
Yeah. So, it means a lot to me to carry that championship. And working with Bull Dread is always both a privilege and a pleasure. Somebody I grew up watching, somebody who took part in the training that I was doing at PWA, and somebody that I've gotten close with outside of wrestling. So definitely a mentor, and it's always fun to work with him. And Vanguard, the whole point of it is it's like a throwback. It's kind of aside from the other promotions, not to distance itself from them, just like the concept of the event is kind of like an old school, like, Doc really loves catch can wrestling, and that's certainly a part of it, but also kind of, shouting out to the previous eras and years. They're bringing in Wrecking Ball for the first time. He belongs there. It's the perfect fit because he's just a monster from days gone by,
Yeah.
Jimmy Valiant, Boogie Woogie Man.
Legendary Boogie Woogie Man.
Wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute. Hang on.
What are you doing around
What was that calling you, buddy?
This is our neighborhood.
You done made a young man's game.
You should be retired, Boogie.
Wait a minute, boys! Let me take a bite of my king dog.
You say King Dog?
King Dog?
Is that what you said? What happened?
Come on, boy!
Don't let hunger bully you. Get yourself a king dog, and you too can become a super hunger fighter.
I noticed on the flyer or on their logo flyer thing, it says catch can. And I messaged Doc immediately when I saw this because it's like I'm a very old school fan. Like I love traditional style wrestling. Now I understand professional wrestling, it's a variety show, so to speak, but I prefer the old school. And then I messaged him and saying that I'm, that's awesome. Basically telling him how awesome I thought that he was, that he wanted. And I've seen him release out there like on social media saying that he's looking to do a more old school style product. And I think that's really cool because we need that kind of variety in our area in New England. There's not a lot of it. There's a lot of, there's a lot of great wrestling, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough of it is like the full traditional style, I guess. You have your high flyers, you have your hardcore stuff and a lot of the modern type stuff. And but it's really cool. I think that he's going to be working on this, and he's going to be coming up on the show as well very soon. We're going to be talking about Pure Vanguard Wrestling, so I'm very excited about that. And
he's making the rounds. I've seen him.
He's made he's done the wonderful Kincaid Files or the Stirring the Pot, I believe, recently. As Don Kincaid has made his return to podcasting and YouTube. So
triumphant.
Yes, I mean it's been quite quiet without Don at shows and and not promoting his podcast and stuff like that. So I'm happy to have that show return actually. And so pushing the local talent just as much as he did. Yeah. So let's see, where else are my notes here? Let's see. Actually, on September 21st, you're also meeting with Troy Stevens. This is like you guys have met quite a bit. As wrestled for that tattoo title.
We at least got a break. We got a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
It was four matches in two. Well, it was 3 matches in 1 month, 4 matches in 2 months. For 2 different championships. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
you're good.
Yes, to crown the first ever tattoo champion, we got to the finals of that tournament. That was a tough fight. We clashed several times for that PAPW United States Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I started that rivalry with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder and kind of went a little farther than I had to. I think he probably would have given me the match without putting him through a table and all that. But, I've known him for so long too. And I don't want to say that it's like totally forgiven because, it was messed up of me to do. But at the end of the day, he won, I won, and I think we've gotten to the point of returning to mutual respect and even friendship, where now this match for Tetsu is going to be the first round in a very short tournament to inaugurate the next number one contender to go after Patrick Saint and that Tetsu championship. So me and Troy being the first two to fight for that championship to begin with is kind of fitting, I think. And then you've got Sammy Diaz and another individual on the other side of that bracket. So it's kind of a stacked little tournament, to be honest. Yep. And we'll see what happens, because no matter who wins, you got Patrick Saint in front of you, and that's no small task.
I was going to ask you about possibly meeting Patrick Saint at Tetsu for that title, because he is a absolute monster. He is, and I think he's there's something about that guy. He's awesome. He really is. I got a chance to watch him last night and commentate for his match against Jay Onyx from the Haven.
Oh, okay, yeah. How'd that go?
And Jay Onyx was definitely the underdog in that match. He probably has a little bit more experience than Patrick Saint, but he was a lot smaller, and it was a little hard for him to keep up. He did get some stuff in there, but Patrick Saint, for the most part, kicked the crap out of him.
So the Patrick Saint that I have fought against was part of the mission, and he was, technically brainwashed by Dan the Man as a member of his cult. So he was motivated by that. But this Patrick Saint we're seeing now, who's broken free of that kind of tampering from Dan, like the one who can do whatever he wants whenever he wants, and just running roughshod over the Northeast. Like, this is a different competitor I haven't been in the ring with yet.
Right.
I'm not afraid of anybody. You put me in there with literally anyone, that's fine. But Patrick Saint is an imposing figure, and I can't even imagine how much more he puts behind that now that he's doing it for himself and not somebody else,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's and he's still relatively young in his career, correct? Like,
he's very new. He is so impressive, and he has such command of himself. Like, he knows who he is, and so do you, because he's out there. Super impressive. And I don't think watching him you would have any way of knowing how new he is.
Right.
Green as goose shit has never been anything you could say about Patrick Saint. So, just thinking about how he's already the main champion at, a respected promotion also is like, what else is this guy going to do? And I mean, he's just getting started.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. You also, you mentioned taking on, your schedule to take on Steven Setson, and it turned into an arm wrestling match. Now you have another match scheduled, correct, with him on the 26th at PvP.
Yep. I was within an inch. I had him in that arm wrestling contest, and he attacked the injury, which at that point I hadn't even had a match yet. I was really like not trying to like go back to the emergency room, but attacked the injury, and then he whipped me with his belt a bunch, and he's got some receipts coming, because that was way out of line. That was completely unnecessary. I knew him years ago. We were friendly. We had a rivalry, like not directly. I had a rivalry with Dirtbag Dan, and he was a member of the Filthy Family. And we fought over the Hardcore Championship, and Stetson was around for that. But again, just like Pat is a different person now than he was. when somebody else was in charge. Like Stetson is killing it everywhere. He's a cornerstone of Wrestling Open at Beyond, which is just taken off. I mean, taken off is an understatement.
He's been involved in some big time matches over there on Wrestling Open, which is, do you keep up with that product? Do you watch it?
I can't, I don't watch it. I don't have the app to watch it, but I mean, obviously everyone I have on social media is a wrestler, so I see the clips and everything all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a lot of people I know, a lot of good brothers, so I do keep up. Stetson's doing a fantastic job. I can't take that away from him. It's just he's being such a prick to me. And it's like, it's at this point, like I didn't think it was personal. I thought he was just, you know, kind of pissing on his territory at PvP because like I was new there and he's been there. But no, I mean, at this point, it's very personal. There's no getting around it. And before, you know, I didn't like him, but like he was just an opponent. Now this is much more serious, and I have to fight him in a match and then enter the 20-man PvP annual battle royal to go after their championship in November at their biggest event of the year. So it's, you know, I got to get through him, and you know, he's a formidable opponent, and then I got to go try to win this Rumble. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna stay the course. I'm gonna do everything I can. I mean, I'm confident. I'm much angrier with him than I thought I would be, because he made it much more personal than I thought it would be.
Secondhand Heroes and Home for Wayward Villains is a comic book shop and gaming store that also features Magic the Gathering and D&D. Located at 18184 Leesville Road in Evanston, Virginia, Secondhand Heroes is your one-stop shop for you to get your nerd on. Open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. They don't close until the dice stop rolling. They buy, sell, trade, barter, and haggle, specializing in collectible toys, both vintage and modern, comics, Magic the Gathering, video games, console, and arcade cabinets to play, all set to free play. Host your game night with us. Monday night D&D video game competitions, and so much more. Something for the collector and gamer in us all. Call 434-317-0121 or shoot us an email with any questions to secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. Note, secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. That's 2ND, handheroesva@gmail.com. Come game with us.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I hope to see that, catch that. Do they stream at all? PvP? They put their stuff up on
not live. The Kincaid's been going,
right?
Because Josh goes. So you know, there's been some film to come out that way. Fogman's gone to some,
right?
So some footage comes out that way, but I haven't seen any like official
footage. Okay, all right. Let's see. I know I mentioned it briefly, but I don't think we really went into it. But what about Legacy is Timeless and you know, Alex Rojas starting that up recently, and that's a different, like a newer kind of product as well to follow along with here. He has brings in a lot of bright indie stars that have been around for quite some time, and to his liking, to his style that he prefers, I guess you can say.
Definitely. It started as kind of like a sister promote, because there's the Bell Time Club in Boston and Tessa Strength in Connecticut that are kind of like sister schools.
Right.
So Legacy is Timeless. Originally, the concept was just one more place where like we can really put the spotlight on the Tessa Strength and Bell Time talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Give them a chance to work with people that they otherwise might not get a chance to work with. And, you know, hence the name Legacy is Timeless. You know, it's all coming from the Killer Kowalski lineage, you know.
Right.
And it's, you know, it is Alex's baby. And that, it continues to be that, but it also, you know, is also always trying to grow and become its own standalone entity on top of being somewhere for the TOS and Bell Time kids. And so far it's gone great. LIT, as opposed to other brands, has partnered with Doc Warren, not in the way that Doc Warren is the producer technically for Vanguard, if you can say,
Right.
like the promoter. LIT is looking to help create fundraising events as well with the Headlocks for Humanity Foundation.
Right.
The last one that I was a part of also was in Waterbury at the Arc Building, and it was a fundraiser for the Thomaston Opera House, which is also called the Landmark Community Theater.
Okay.
It's been there forever, and they're doing a restoration project for the theater. So we did a fundraiser for them. And stuff like that is kind of a goal of both Alex's and Doc's, is to be able to put on these shows to raise funds for underfunded programs. A portion of the proceeds for every LIT event and every Vanguard event go to Headlocks for Humanity, which, is its own entity separate of the wrestling, but that's what the goal is.
Right. Well, sounds like you're involved in a lot of really great stuff out there these days.
I'm very lucky to have, made connections with, I think, worthwhile people. Yeah, thanks. Right. I agree.
I want to ask you one more question before we move on. It's like you've actually had the opportunity to work Coliseum quite a bit as of late. Obviously, you weren't on the show that was last night, but you've worked several events. You've gotten a team with TJ Howell against, was it against Hustle and Muscle, right? Correct? No. Am I drawing a blank?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, because you filled in for
Bricks.
Yes, you filled in for Bricks at one time, and Richard E. Stone cried like a baby after the loss of the match, and then you brought in TJ Howell to meet up against Hustle and Muscle. So, I've enjoyed and I've had the honor to commentate your matches, and there's certain people that I really want to work with, and obviously you're one of them. And now that I've achieved that goal, that was a lot of fun being able to commentate with you in action in that ring. And I'd really do you plan on coming back at some point at Coliseum, or what are your thoughts of working there? I know the buildings were, it's probably a smaller building than you're used to, maybe, I'm guessing.
All the buildings, the crowd at Coliseum's cool. They're a little quiet. But they're there. Like, it's just, I look around, I'm in the ring, I look around. I've only done the two events. The time that Richie asked me for a favor, which I was happy to do, and then he had to be such a little jerk about it. And then, then it was Cold Cash coming back to, to kind of step up and say, you don't blame me for that loss. Like, you didn't do anything, and Cold Cash will wrestle Hustle and the Muscle any day. We came up at the same time together in TOS, and there was a little period where we were involved in a lot of the same things. Cold Cash got along with the firm when the firm was a thing. It was, it's a friendly rivalry, but at the same time, who wants to be the best tag team to come out of TOS, and we both want to. So, I'll work with or against the Hustle and the Muscle anytime, any day. Me and Jay Bricks are undefeated as a tag team, actually, 2-0. I know that's not a lot, but
it means something.
I'll come down for Coliseum anytime. Just depends on the dates lining up. And I'm not sure what else is going on there as far as like championships are concerned. I know that the Hustle and the Muscle are the tag team champions. That kid Luis Vargas.
Luis Leon. Yeah, he has the strong will title.
Right. And Shimmy has their main championship right now, right?
Yeah, he had a hell of a match against Nutrius X last night, I tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great kid. I mean, I'm not saying I want to come down there and steal his championship, but I'd work with him anytime.
Yeah.
And they're right near Zupardi's. You go walk to Zupardi's.
You definitely can.
That's the fat guy talking, but
no, that's a place that, me and the Sabins, we end up going to Zupardi's. We grab a pizza before the show and eat it at the door before the show starts.
Oh, so, no,
that's one of my favorite places.
I leave a Coliseum event with a pie in the passenger seat every time.
That's definitely one of the pluses of working that area. So the Zupardi's.
And I love the House of Pain guys. You know, they're good. Yeah. They're good cats. You
Great
know,
guys.
I'll work there anytime that they have room for me. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you again there and anywhere really. So is there anything else that you have coming up that you'd like to throw out there as of now?
What else? The next weekend's very interesting because there's PvP in Connecticut for the first time since I've been working with them. On Saturday at 1.
Where's that?
In Southington. I think it's at the skiing place.
Okay.
I'll send you the flyer. I don't have it, you know, obviously my phone's occupied, but PvP at 1 in Southington, Tetsu at 3 in Windsor, and then GCW Saturday night. That's
at the Webster.
That's at the Webster. I've gone to the last several as a guest of Just Incredibles, so I'm not, you know, I don't think I'll go unless I'm hanging out. You know what I mean? I don't.
Right.
I will already have wrestled twice that day, like with a broken thumb. So,
are those later events? Like, do they start later at night, or they just start? Yeah.
It's late. And then Sunday I have the 2 matches at PvP. So this weekend is kind of stacked, and it'll be a real test because, you know, my thumb's a lot better now. Right. It's about 8 weeks. It's today. So today is 8 weeks. I should have a second follow-up soon, but it's getting better enough. Like I should start being able to be my old self and do the things. A promoter that will remain nameless, who's not Alex Rojas, was very surprised. They saw footage of me fighting Marcos on the 24th, and I've integrated a back kick, like a side kick. I hesitate to say super kick because it's not a super kick, but I've integrated a kick into my offense that normally I wouldn't, but I can't grab people with this hand and do everything, like throw them the way that I normally would.
Right.
And that individual was very surprised and complimentary. Said, you know, oh, great footwork, great, you know, positioning. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks, man. You know, I did take Taekwondo. But yeah, so this will be a really good test to see where I'm at with the thumb this weekend. But yeah, we pretty much covered everything. Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And you know, of course, you're going to come back again at some point, probably in the next couple months. Do you want to just let everybody know where they can find you on the socials?
At Ryan F. Wrestles is all the socials. I was doing really well with the socials and keep it up, and I might have fallen off a little bit, but I do intend on. I had a schedule, you know, and it was so easy to stick to. I had to get back to it. But you know, you can reach out to me on there too if you have any questions. I post on Instagram the flyers at the beginning of every month, so you know you could always ask me, but you could always check too. So, and my Facebook cover photo is always the next show coming up.
Right. So, right. All right. Cool. I want to thank you very much for coming in, and we'll hope to see you again soon. And I'll definitely see you at the matches.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.